All right. What up, guys? I'm back. I told you guys I would do this video, and it's about all my flips and like my come up and how I've done it, and then like pictures of all them, that like all the toys and vehicles and crap that I've been dealing with and all that. So this is the video. Let's get started. Um Basically, this is how I came about it. Growing up, like my dad always has taught me like how to work on toys, and pretty much everything that I know right now is from the help of him. So shout out my dad. Um, but basically, it was summer of last year that I like I've always been around dirt bikes and quads and all that stuff. But summer of last year was when I started my flips, and that's not like what I expected, the outcome, and then like anything so far that I've got from it. But so starting off, I got a friend on Snapchat texted me and he asked if I wanted to buy this quad, and I had no idea like what was wrong with it, what's going on with it or whatever. It was I don't know, it was probably like late 90s, or no, not late 90s, probably like early 90s, late 80s. Kawasaki Bayou. Here's a picture of it. All right. Um, Basically, like you see just from the pictures that this quad was fucking a mess. This thing was so beat. It was just, I don't know, it was a hot mess. I got the quad for $60. $60. He didn't tell me what's wrong with it. He said the motor does have compression. I just don't know what to do with it. Pushed it all the way back from one side of town to the other, and got it back, and I got like right into it. My dad was helping me. I tore it all down, took the gas tank off. The gas tank on it was super weird. Like it's in the back, and it was all like old gas, molded, not molded, but like varnished, and it was just all bad, super bad. What did I do after that? Basically, I just like I did the normal stuff, like clean the carb, check compression. The timing cover had a leak, so I put gasket maker on it, and then like we were just trying to get it running, like get it started at least. And my dad had to help me because it was like the starter button is what we checked first, like the copper grounds in it, and it was just super bad. Like corrosion was so bad, but that wasn't the problem. Like we still cleaned it and stuff, but that wasn't the problem. So we went more in depth, and we got all the way to the neutral safety switch on it, and that was super corroded. Cleaned that up, started right up. Didn't run the best, but it ran. Like it moved on its own. It was good. It was automatic, so they're pretty simple. After that, I posted it on Facebook Market, and I ended up trading for this. This go-kart was so sweet. It was so sweet. It didn't need anything. I put a new belt on it. I drove that thing all around town, like every day, all around town. Had the Predator 212. It's not like a big, like it was just like a trailer park go-kart, pretty much. Like that's what it was. And I put a light bar on it and all that stuff. I rode that for a little bit. Like you can't take that really into the trails. Like the tires were super bald. It was kind of just like a go-getter. Like my brother had a mini bike at the time, so we would just mess around all over our town. And I posted that as well on Marketplace, and I sold that for $500. For $500 cash off of $60. I didn't put no money into either of them toys besides like carb cleaner, and then I got that belt. So I wasn't in debt on it, anything really. Like that was just little stuff. Somebody came and bought that for $500, and then 2 days after that, I bought this 1998 Ski-Doo Formula Z 670 for $500 even. that sled was, I don't know, it was kind of a hot mess when I first got it. Like when I lived out at my mom's ex-boyfriend's, that's who I got it from, and he put it in a ditch. I'll post a picture of that too. He put it in a ditch, so it was a hot mess. I put a new windshield on it, new pull cord, new spark plugs, and then I had to put track clips on it. So that one, it kind of did cost me money, and I had it for a little bit longer because it was summer. But I just wanted to have a sled for that up and coming winter because my dad has his sled, and it was go mode. That sled turned out really good. After the work I put into it, I buffed out the hood, put on them track clips, like everything. I really cleaned that sled up super good from what I first got it at. And then with that sled, I didn't even get to ride it during winter, but I just wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to move up and see how far I could take this flipping. That's when I started taking it serious, was because like I started off with $60 on a junk ass quad, and I'm all the way to here. Like, how far can I really take this? So I posted that sled up, and I wasn't having no bites really. Like, nobody wanted to sled. It's middle of summer, and it wasn't sled season. Like, no one's looking for a sled at that moment. And somebody messaged me with a 2005 CRF 250X. Here's a picture of it. This bike was my first 4-stroke, my first big bike. Like, I've only had 85s. I had a KX 100, a TTR 125, like a little ass pit bike, but I've never had like a big bike besides my RM 125. But I wouldn't even call that like a big bike. Like, that was a great learning bike for me. I had like really good fun and like good memories on it, but it wasn't a big bike. Like, a 125 is still little for me because I'm a bigger dude. With this CRF 250X, I didn't really have to put any money into it. Like, I got little stuff, like I got an air filter, new back tire, and that's really it. Like, it was a straight bike. It had the electric start, headlight, rear tail light. Like, it was sweet. It was a good trail bike, especially up here in Michigan. Like, that bike would have been sweet if I would have kept it. I had that for a while. I put out a couple of videos on YouTube with that, and I was just like, it's time to move on. Like, I don't want a 4-stroke. I don't want this to be where my flipping stops. Like, I don't want to do this. My valves were so bad on that bike. The day I sold it, like, I posted on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody was coming to buy it, and he got there. I could not get it started, and I was like, bro, like, what the hell? This guy just drove 2 hours to get here, and I can't even get this bike started. So he was like, how much are the valves? Or like, because it needed to be shinned. It wasn't the actual valves, it just needed to be shinned. I was like, they're like fucking, I think he paid like $36 for a shim kit at the local shop here. Shout out Steven Cycles. Got that done. We put them in that same day, and I still got my asking price. I got $1,900 from that bike. Again, started off with $60. I turned that to $1,900, and I already been through 4 different toys by now. Like, it was like, all right, so this is real. Like, I can really keep on doing this. Like, this is 100%. So after that, I took that $1,900 and I got a 400EX, a 2005 400EX. Here's a picture of that. Electric start, full HMF pipe, K&N air filter, good tires. It was that quad was sweet. I did an oil change, oil filter. I put bars, grips, bar risers. Because that quad, I've been around 400EXs. Like, my dad had one, and I just enjoyed that quad. Like, I knew it would be fun. And by this time that I got this quad, it was like winter, like just getting into winter. Which it was still straight, but I didn't really want it. Like, it was a good quad, like I said, but I'm just not a quad guy, so I had my fun on it. And then I posted that up for sale, and I sold that for $2,000 flat. And with that $2,000, I sat on it for a little bit, and then I bought this RM250, and I'll show a pic of the first day I got it right here. and now this is what the bike looks like. So this bike I bought for $1,500. It was, I stayed home from school that same day. I didn't even know I was gonna buy it. I didn't have no plans of buying it. I was up late messaging people on Marketplace, and the guy texted me as soon as I got out of the shower, and he was like, "Yeah, come get it, $1,500." I rode my scooter from my house over to this guy's place, rode the dirt bike, fell absolutely in love. It was everything that I wanted from a bike. It had the power delivery, everything. It was like my pride and joy. Like with this bike, I was taking it so serious. Like this bike was my summer bike that I rode all summer long. This summer, like everything. And I did that bike up super nice. It was completely stock, never been tore apart, never been rebuilt. I was the second name on the title. It's been sitting for 11 years. And the guy, no, it's been sitting since 2003. The guy last registered in '02. He was at Silver Lake, and he got like one of the like dead wood pieces. That's like, if you've been to Silver Lake, you know what I'm talking about. He got one of them dead pieces stuck in his wheel, and it broke his wheel, and it messed up his back and his leg. So he's just like, he could not ride no more. And then he put on a bunch of weight. Like it was a wrap for him. So the only aftermarket part that came with that bike was that KKE back wheel and a brand new back tire. And then I did plastics, grips. I took a bunch of parts off the RM125 before I sold that bike, and like everything. Like I did that bike up so nice, and it was such a good bike. Like I'm a diehard RM250 fan. Like RM250s and RM125s are my everything. Like I love them bikes. Those are the best bikes you can get, flat out. The YZs are good too. With that bike, I put it up for 25, or I was overpricing it just to see what I could get like people to bite on, because it was summer. Like I was ready. People are buying bikes. And I ended up taking 2,500 for it, which was all right because it needed fork seals, and then it needed a new clutch soon. The back tire was worn out. And it was just like, it was time to let go. Like I needed a car. I wanted to just like level up in my life. Like I still love that bike. I'm still in contact with the new owner, but it was just time to let go. That bike really shaped me, like for riding, like what I like to ride, like everything. That bike was sweet. And then with that $2,500, I dug into it. I spent like 500 out of it. And then a couple more hundred I just put up for like a rainy day, like just to throw it in my stack. And I bought my dad's old 400EX back off of a family friend. And here's a picture of that. 2001 400EX, K&N, air filter, big draw, HMF pipe, full HMF pipe. It was done up. Like my dad built that quad from the ground up. It was a great quad. That's why I bought it back, because it was like, one, I need a toy right now, and I know I can make more money off of it getting it for 15. So I had that quad for like 2 weeks tops. Put it on the Marketplace. I was ready to get rid of it because I'm just not a quad guy. I wanted to make my money back. And some dude with a 2009 RMZ 450, here's a picture of that, offered me to trade him. So drove down to Detroit, met him, traded him, got the title for that bike, bunch of oil filters, and like a bunch of little parts. I sold all them extra parts, made a profit just off of them, just from all them extra parts. That bike was straight. It was my first fuel injected bike. The suspension was terrible on it. It was set up for like a 290-pound rider. Like, it's ridiculous. But I like the fuel injected. I like the 450. That didn't really get showed on my YouTube because at that time I didn't have a GoPro. But I rode that bike for the rest of summer, like into fall. And them bikes, they're decent, but like if you're just trail riding, like you don't need all that 450 power unless you know how to handle it. Like, I'm not saying nobody else could, like nobody can ride them. Like anybody can ride a bike as long as you can fit on it. Like it is, if you know how to ride a clutch, you can ride it. but it wasn't an enjoyable bike. Like, I like the power delivery. I definitely learned how to ride wheelies on it really good. I'll post a video of me riding a wheelie right here. But yeah, like, them bikes are straight. It was just not what I really wanted. It would have been a great ice bike this year, just for the power delivery and like how it's good on gas and all that. But it just wasn't my cup of tea. So bam, posted that on Facebook Marketplace. I had that bike for about 2.5 months. Posted on Marketplace, and I ended up scoring a deal to trade for this 2010 Chevy Malibu with 130,000 miles on it. Decent looking car. I'll post a picture right here. I got to the dude's house and the valves were going on the bike, and my Kickstarter shaft broke like inside of the case, and we had to push start that bike during the cold weather, like it's fall season, and it was just not starting. And then we finally got it started. The dude couldn't even ride clutch, so we had to keep restarting it every time he stalled out. It was just a hot mess, but drove that car back up to where I stay in Michigan, and all the lights came on. So I had to replace crank position sensor, knock sensor, O2 sensor, like everything. So that costed me a little bit, but I had that car for about a month or so. And the first day that I got it, I detailed it. It was disgusting, like the grossest thing I've ever cleaned. I had like Ben & Jerry's ice cream under the passenger seat, and it was I don't know, it was gross. The locks didn't work. I didn't know that. I locked my keys in the car like 4 times. It's so stupid. But it was nice, like going from a dirt bike to a newer car that had kind of low mile. Like, it was clean. It was a fun flip. I'm glad I did it, but I don't regret anything I've traded or sold or bought, but it was like a learning experience, really. Posted that car for, I think I posted it for 32, like knowing I'm not going to get 32, and I ended up getting 2150 out of it. But this is when all the steering, like the stabilizer bar, the control arms, A-arms, like everything on that car just went to shit. Like the whole front end needed to be fixed and like tuned up. And I wasn't trying to put that money into it. So crazy enough, I got 2,100 out of that. So that's from $1,500, that's a $2,100. That's like a $700 profit almost, just off that. And with that 2,150, I went and bought this 2008 LTZ 400, and it didn't really need much. It was a good running quad. I put new seat cover, new bumper, bar risers, bars, grips, new air filter, oil change, rear and front brake pads on it. I kind of just did like the regular necessities, and then just gave it like my little look. Like the fenders were already cut, but I really liked it like that. Like, I usually don't like the 400s. Like, again, I'm not a quad guy, but I like that quad. That was a good running quad, and I had that for the start of winter of this year. And again, just not a quad guy, so I instantly put it up as soon as I was getting them parts back, like that I ordered. I had the quad up, and I was getting bites like left and right. Like, I'll bring you this, I'll bring you that, I'll bring you this. And somebody offered me a 2005 YZ250. Here's a picture of that. And that was the bike I just recently had, like my last toy I just had. That was a great bike, ran good. I hardly put any money into that thing. It was just an overall good bike. I didn't even get to like spice it up. It was, I put like 3 different spark plugs in it. So in total I was like $8 into that bike. But I had it up studded, and I literally just sold that the other day. I had it studded. I rode it on the river for about like 2 weeks of this year, like just recently. And I was just like, like I'm not feeling it. Like I'm gonna sell it. I know them 2005s, like with the aluminum framing up, go for a lot. So I posted up for 31 and I ended up getting 26 out of it, which is not bad. Like it might seem like I took a loss, and I know YZs in different areas really do go for 31, 37, like depending how built up they are, they'll go for whatever. But it was like it had a bunch of little stuff. Like two strokes aren't hard to work on at all. They're the most simplest engine ever. But it was just stuff that I didn't want to do. Like it was like, I don't know, I want to have like a bigger come up right now. Like I want to invest into like a car. Like I've been looking at Infiniti G35s just to bounce my like everything up. Like all the money that I made, like put it up. So all in total, like I'll add it up and I'll give you the price. But yeah, I made plenty of money like off of just dealing bikes and buying and selling like everything. And I highly recommend, like, if you are into dirt bikes, like you guys already know what's up. Like there's always going to be money, and it's always been consistent money for me. Like over the past year, I'll say, like I've touched so much money. Like I've dealt with so much money and so many different toys that now that I know what bikes that I like I can say like, yeah, I've rode a Ford 50, but I prefer like I prefer a two-stroke 250 over that 450, or I prefer this quad over this quad for reasons that I can explain, because had I've dealt with them, I've learned from them, I've worked on them, I've built them. Like everything that I've done with is helping me with whatever I'm gonna do with this. Like as much as I'm building this up, I have so much knowledge built up just from all of these flips that it's like I can tell people, yeah, go get that YZ250 if you want that low end, like mid-range grunt, like that good two-stroke feel, that great two-stroke power. That RM250 is a fast bike. That's a great running bike. They're reliable if you take care of them. Or that 400EX is an amazing quad. Keep up with the oil. Yeah, it might tick loud, but it's just your decompression pin. Like there's nothing to it. Like it's all this knowledge that I built up. It's valuable. It's more valuable than money, because money really doesn't mean anything. Like yeah, you buy everything with money. Like life is money. But knowledge is more than any of that stuff combined. Like this whole flipping experience, which is still going, it's not over, is everything that I've done in the past year has been buy this, sell this, trade this, make a profit on this. And all together, I probably profited almost, like again, I'm going to add it up. I probably profited a couple grand. And again, I started off with $60. I've dealt with fuel injected bikes, RM250s, YZ250s, LTZ 400s, a 2010 Malibu. Like I've dealt with so much stuff off of that $60 that it costed me $60, and I've grinded all the way up to this. Like, hold on, not to be that guy. All of this money just off of $60. This is $2,700 cash. And this is what I just made. But from all them profits, I've always put up whatever I made off of it. I'd take 200 out of each one, and I've put that up. So if you think about that, I got a decent saving right now, and that's just put up for whatever I want to get into next, or when I get old enough. I'm 17 right now. When I get old enough, get a shop, do this legitly, start a company, start a shop, basically work on anything from 212 Predator motors all the way to V8 motors. Like anything in between that, I got knowledge on just from these flips. Off of $60, I've learned all of that, like everything. And it's not like I guess you could say from the first couple flips it was about money. Like I'm 16 years old, like I'm hungry for money. Like not a lot of 16-year-olds have that mentality. Like a lot of them are just smoking weed and trying to fit in and act cool, get the cutest girl, like blah blah blah. But no, it was more than that. Like it was that will all come with it, boy or girl. Like that will all come with whatever you're doing that you love, and that they see you working for it, and they see that you're making a living off of that being so young, or even when you're older. Like if you're starting, like if you're watching this and you're older, there's no reason why you can't do this. And you don't got to be limited. Like you can do this wherever you want. You can go to any state. Everywhere has cars, everywhere has dirt bikes, everyone has ATVs. Like nowhere in this world doesn't have that marketplace. Like Facebook, you can get it on any app. Like everything. I haven't used Craigslist once. I haven't used eBay once, and all of that has came to this. I know it might not seem like a lot, but like for being 17 and being able to say you touched 10 grand just off of $60, that's a hell of a that's a hell of accomplishment. And like I don't gotta worry about, oh, I'm not gonna have gas tomorrow, or oh, like I don't think like I don't know. Like, and now that I'm so high up in my flips, like them days back in the day where I was like, no, like I can't, I gotta work on this toy, or no, I don't got the money to. Like, no, yeah, if you want to go out, we can go out. Like I have that money now. Like I have that knowledge that like, all right, so say you're busy doing a top end. Like I hate getting interrupted when I'm working. Like if I'm working, I'm working. Like do not text me, do not call me, whatever. Um, but now it's like a top end that'll take me 3 hours out of my day. Like yeah, I'll go out. Like we can go drive go-karts right now. We can go grab some lunch, like anything. And it's just great with the knowledge that I've learned from all of this. And I've learned respect. I've learned how to deal with people. I've learned how to talk people down. Like so there's most of these toys that I've got or traded, like they'll be asking outrageous prices. It's all about how you go about it. Like you could take this for example. That 400X I wanted, that was my dad's. How I paid $15 for it. He wanted $2,300 for that. I said, I will come with 17 right now. He said, all right. I get out of work, blah, blah, blah. I go to his house, check it over. I say, I know this quad in and out. I got 1,500 cash right now or I'll leave. Straight like that. He thought about it for like 10 seconds. All right, I'll take 15. So on the marketplace, whether it's a car or anything that you're trying to buy that's not in a store or from like a protected retailer or whatever, there's always that room. Like I've learned how to talk people down. I've learned how to talk sense into people respectfully, not being like a little dickhead, like I know it all. But I've just learned like, oh, you like I'm buying a CRF 250X or CRF 450X, like, or any like 2008 models prior, like Hondas. Oh, like yeah, you might want 17, but I'm gonna have to reshim it, whether it needs it right now or not. It's gonna happen eventually. Like they're notorious for the valves coming out of spec and blah blah blah. Like I have that knowledge to be like to use against people. Like people, a lot of these people that have dirt bikes are usually like that have them outrageous price are usually bought by daddy's money and blah blah blah. But like when you really work for your money and make your money work for you, you understand that a lot of these people don't even understand what they have. Like, oh, yeah, I just have this like 86 250X, blah blah blah. I'll take $1,500 for it. Like, no, dumbass. That's you clean that up, jet it right. That's a $58,000 or $5,800 quad. Like them 250Xs go for, or 250Rs go for so much money. Or yeah, I got this Blaster 200. It needs a carb clean, blah blah blah. $400. All right, clean that carb. That's a 10-minute job. power wash it, clean up, do the regular maintenance, post it on the marketplace. That's $1,500 profit right there. Like, everything is so simple if you understand what you're doing. And not a lot of people have that father figure or mentor, like, to teach them about this stuff. And it doesn't even just have to be dirt bikes or like cars alone. Like, there's always somebody that you could reach out to, whether you know them or not. Like, people are like, we have the whole internet. Everyone will help you out. Like, if you have any questions about rebuilding a bike or anything, like, my Instagram's in the description. Like, anything, you guys could email me anything, and I would be glad. You could leave it in the comments. Like, I'd be glad to get back to you and fill you with the information that I know and everything. Like, I'll do a walkthrough with you. Like, I will literally, we could FaceTime and I will show you the steps on how to do it and how to spec your rings and how to everything. Like, all the knowledge that I know, I will share it with all you guys, because it's not, I don't want it to be a secret. Like, anybody can do this, anybody. And it's just enjoyable. Like, when you love someone, or not someone, but something, like, if you absolutely love cars or buying and selling cars, you will research it. Like, anything's on the internet also. Like, I've loved dirt bikes my whole life. Like, since I was a kid, it's been my dream to just, if I'm not racing, just being around them or working on them. Like, I've learned that, like, love that and respect that. Like, respect the time that you have working on it. As stupid as it sounds, when you love something and you're doing it 24/7, you learn to love, like, respect that and understand that, like, it's just there. Like, you're doing it. Like, you understand how to do it. And I don't know, just the way I picture everything is completely different. And it might sound like I'm rambling on, but it's just, like, the truth. Like, when you absolutely love something and it's your dream, don't let anything get in the way. Don't let anyone say you can't do it, because you can. There's no reason why you can't. This world is complete freedom. You do what you want to do, and that's that. Like, if you got a goal, you will get there, as long as you keep grinding for it. Like, I've never thought in my life that I'd have a 2009 RMZ 450 or a bone stock 2001 RM 250. Like, I've never thought that in my whole entire life. But I got there. I did that. And I did that at such a young age that it's like, what can I not do? It might be like, again, your vision, it might be like, oh, it's just a dirt bike. But it's like, no, like, I did that. Like, I started off from nothing and I got that. How far can I take this? Or what can I do next? Or, dang, if I really keep doing this, I can really have a house as soon as I turn 18 in what, like 7 months. As soon as I turn 18, I will be able to get a house if I really grind for it. I know I can, because there's nothing that we can't do. As long as we put our mind to it, we can do whatever we want. But yeah, sorry about the rant. That's just how I'm feeling. So those are all my flips, and this is how much profit I made. It was right here. Just put it in at the end. That's that. We got hopefully more videos coming soon. The next couple months might be a little like just these vlog style videos. I'm rebuilding my friend's RM250, so I could probably record a little bit of that. But as of right now, I do not have a toy. I do not have a GoPro still. But I plan on using this year and using my profit money to invest into my channel, like invest into my socials, like everything. Like, I want to have a decent GoPro, like at least an 8 or a 9, and I want to just do more for my socials, because my views on YouTube have been so, like, consistent lately, even though I haven't been uploading like that. Like, 60 views is a lot for me on YouTube. Like, that's a lot. Like, that means a lot. That means that I can really put more into this, and I know I'll see more outcome out of it. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to my rants, and remember, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Have a good day.